After Charleston White publicly embarrassed Soulja Boy on social media and physically assaulted him in person, Soulja Boy made the decision to send a defiant message to Charleston White. This came after Charleston publicly disgraced Soulja Boy on social media and after Charleston physically assaulted Soulja Boy in person. What exactly is going on between the two? And how did this feud between C-Dubs and Soulja even get started in the first place? Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at how Soulja Boy sent a defiant message to Charleston White after this. Yeah, you heard it right. So, let's start our video. Soulja Boy has traveled to Miami in preparation for his forthcoming live engagement. On one of the days, he ran into Charleston White. Soulja was with the security team, which consisted of roughly 12 of his men. They allegedly approached Charleston, and Soulja Boy told him that he wanted to speak with him. As they neared, Soulja addressed Charleston. After Charleston sprayed Soulja and his guards with pepper spray and mace, Soulja and the rest of his security crew were unable to see anything, and Charleston escaped. However, there is more to this story, so let's examine the specifics. Why did Soulja wish to communicate with Charleston? Well, Charleston went off on Soulja during one of his interviews for Say Cheese. In the interview, Charleston was asked to comment on the fact that a number of Soulja Boy's ops, including Young Dolph, Trouble, and Drakeo the Ruler, have passed away. According to Soulja's statement, Charleston went off on Soulja. As soon as Charleston heard this, he had so much to say about Soulja that he lost his mind after hearing this remark. He continued by saying that everyone is aware of Charleston White's penchant for discussing artists who claim to be someone they're not. It's what he does. His YouTube career and activism are fueled by his penchant for making strong statements. Occasionally he's right. Sometimes he ends up being hypocritical, but such is life. Therefore, it was only a matter of time before Soulja ended up in Charleston's crosshairs for switching groups, paying for protection, and talking about gangster life despite being extremely far from it. Well, in Charleston's perspective, these are all unacceptable, so he had to call him out, which he did. This interview on Say Cheese received a great deal of attention due to Charleston's size. Obviously, he knew that this comment would eventually make its way to Soulja, so when Soulja discovered Charleston in Miami, something had occurred. We cannot definitively state Soulja's objective, but perhaps he wished to speak with Charleston and put an end to this dispute that Charleston had initiated. However, they never actually spoke. As soon as Charleston noticed 12 dudes approaching him, he retreated. He assumed that there would be little conversation. Since this was the first thing that occurred to him, he quickly considered how he could escape. Charleston realized he was in true peril. As soon as Soulja and his guards approached, he was prepared to kill them. Based on his own confession, Charleston stated that he's a tactician. As soon as he spotted him, he contemplated how he would spray him. After Soulja and his entourage boxed Charleston into the corner, he maced the entire mob of people in front of him. First, they were sprayed in the eyes, then in the nostrils and mouths. According to Charleston, there was even a Snapchat video of him doing it, but it was swiftly pulled off the internet. A lot of people wonder why mace is used, but he made it because he feels it's the most badass weapon you can obtain if you want to defend yourself correctly. He explained why he made it later. Judging by some of the comments, he has a large number of YouTube users that think this is a good thing. This man is just unstoppable. Ha ha ha, I fully support Charleston's actions. After he had struck him, I knew he had to flee the area. Was it acceptable for Charleston to spray the entire Soulja group in this manner? Actually, we cannot even blame him. He was afraid because he didn't know if he had any other options at the time. So, even though he wasn't alone and another man was with him, he still had to do it. Was Soulja truly gonna harm Charleston? Most likely not. However, Charleston could not have realized that because he had just sprayed him with mace. Regardless, it was the conclusion of the entire episode. Now, this is how Charleston White described the incident and how it transpired from his perspective. However, Soulja Boy also told his side of the story, and according to him, things transpired somewhat differently that day in Miami. Soulja had a clear message for Charleston and quite a few things in mind. Soulja was laughing because Charleston acts like a gangster on the internet, but he's afraid to talk to him in person, so he has to use pepper spray against him. As Charleston said himself, if Soulja Boy had known that Charleston was acting scared, he probably wouldn't have approached him in the first place. Soulja Boy had more to say about Charleston, but he dismissed it all with this remark. However, Soulja did not specify in the video that he was surrounded by a dozen intimidating appearing men ready to fight anyone, especially if you know that someone has been speaking negatively about you on the internet. Observe that instantly one man said, 1-to-1, and the one who came out victorious, this has to be the most legendary thing in social media history. On a more serious note, some people believe that Charles's behavior at the end of the Soulja Boy video could cost him his life if he continues to act in this manner. It is not safe to conduct yourself in this manner while interacting with people who could potentially cause you harm. Not everyone will be like Soulja Boy. There may be times when he doesn't want to talk to someone. He only desires to block the opposite side. There are numerous people in the world that want him to succeed and continue doing what he does. Even so, rappers have his back. Maxo Cream himself tweeted about Charleston stating, "Y'all, the battle that Charleston won alone before he's old and putting money on the shirt. Stay woke and don't get tricked out of your position. That's something to think about in the end." Soulja said that Charleston should go and get him some money. Why did he say that instead of something else? Charleston himself stated that he can't get a job since he sued all of his former employers. Perhaps he's doing this dispute with Soulja merely to make some money. He wouldn't be the first nor the last person to do so. Perhaps they're laughing so hard in their video because they have nothing against one another. Do you believe he deserves the support he receives for always speaking his mind? And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section down below. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned.